That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Hunter x Hunter is back. You better get excited because we don't know when it's going to go away again. As far as I'm concerned, it's going on hiatus again next week. But for now, let's just pretend that this manga series is going to continue. So, I'm going to review the most recent chapter of Hunter x Hunter. And before I go any further, no, I am not in my house, I am not at my studio, I am currently out of town. I work for a production company and I've been currently working on this documentary, which has been taking me around the country, and this week has been insane! I've been to Los Angeles, I went to Venice Beach and Hollywood. Currently right now I am in Idaho Falls, Idaho, which may not sound that exciting, but when I say this state is awesome, it is awesome. It has got some of the most beautiful landscapes and mountains I've ever seen, amazing geysers, and the most ridiculous waterfalls that I've ever seen. If you want to see some of the best that this country has to offer in terms of the most beautiful landscape you've ever seen, come on down to Potato Country. It's pretty freaking great. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in our weekly podcast show, which you must definitely check out. Let's go ahead and talk about this week's chapter of Hunter x Hunter. Yes, it is officially back, and hopefully it's not going to go on hiatus. I've been so looking forward to this manga, but also incredibly intimidated by it, because I have to be perfectly honest with you guys. Hunter x Hunter is one of the most confusing manga series that I've ever read. And the way that I was exposed to the franchise was through the anime version, not the original one from the 90s and the early 2000s, but from the one that started a couple of years ago and ended with the Chimera Ant arc and with the introduction of the Zodiacs. Then I decided to start reading the manga, and that's when things got a little insane. In fact, even last year I reviewed a couple of the chapters that did begin to return, such as the big epic battle between Hisoka and Chrollo, which was pitch perfect, badass, awesome. But then we finally got back to this Dark Continent arc, which for me at first was really confusing. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the author of the series absolutely loves to explain everything in depth. Every single move, every single attack, every single ability seems to have like a whole freaking novella attached to it, and it's kind of insane and can make following it kind of difficult. The good thing is, this returning chapter was not that hard to follow. It's basically more of a continuation of the Dark Continent arc with this massive group of princes and princesses and this king who are making their way to the Dark Continent, this mysterious land. And then you have all of these bodyguards, which our new favorite character Kurapika is a part of. He's not a new character, it's just we haven't seen him in a long time. And he seems to be the main focus of this arc, which honestly I think is really awesome because we haven't seen him in so long. And he's trying to like basically solve the mystery of why all of these guards are being killed by these mysterious Nen beasts. And in order to do that, he's been utilizing a number of new abilities that we've never seen before. The fact that he has the ability to actually take someone else's nen with his chains, I think is really awesome. He displays that brand new ability in this week's chapter where he's able to use one of the chains on his fingers and transform it into this syringe. And whenever he injects that into someone's body, he can remove their nen ability and actually use it. The thing is, once he uses it once, it is going to return to them. But he's able to do this to draw out this weird little freaky Nen beast, which has been going around and taking out all of these guards and taking advantage of them with its ability. And it's all activated when you say the word free. Does any of this sound confusing yet? Because it kind of is, and I'm probably getting a lot of this wrong. So, if anybody wants to explain this to me a little bit more in the comments section, honestly, I'd really appreciate it. But basically what's going on here is all these guards are slowly just getting killed off one by one, and it started off with like a group of 11 of them with Kurapika working with them, and now it's down to 2. So, this is crazy. Not to mention there's this whole other subplot with all of these princes who are fighting for this succession to be the next king of their kingdom, and they all have their very own personal Nen beasts that are with them as well, some of which make appearances in this episode right here, which are just so awesome, such as this one prince by the name of Hulkenberg, who actually goes up to his father personally and tells him that he's dropping out of the succession race. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore, despite the fact that he's got this panel with this giant hulking cyclopedic freaking monster on his shoulders. It's a giant Cyclops bird. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's freaking crazy, man. And then you have this other princess, even though they still call them princes, and she also has her Nen Beast ability, which is like this weird giant mouse thing, but she also seems to be responsible for that one that Kurapika is actually going after as well. It's just, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. This is a confusing series for me, and before I even do my next review of the manga, I'm going to have to go back and read a lot of this shit again. In fact, I'm not even really fully prepared for this review. It's just, it came out of nowhere. I got a ton of emails about it today. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think this was going to be coming out until next week. And I wanted to do a little more research before I jumped into it. But I just wanted to give my general thoughts about this chapter. And I really liked it. I especially loved Kurapika's brand new ability to be able to use that syringe and suck out someone else's Nen ability and be able to use it. That's awesome. They even devote like a little bit of a flashback with him and his old master training how to use Nen and how to utilize this ability. And I think it's really cool. I especially love the form it takes when it turns into like that weird robotic looking dolphin thing with syringes on its flippers, which he has to communicate with as well. It's so damn strange, but I think it's really awesome. And I really am glad that this arc is focusing on Kurapika. He's one of my favorite characters from the entire series. And I'm glad that the author isn't just shoehorning in the main characters because he feels that he has to. Because Gon and Killua don't have anything to do with what's going on here, and Gon's entire story has already sort of been, you know, fulfilled anyway. Like, he met his father, he became a pretty decent hunter, you know, there's not really much more for him aside from just personal growth, which might be a part of another arc much later on in the series, but for now we're going to focus with what's going on in Kurapika world, and frankly, I'm okay with all of that. So what's the rundown on this brand new chapter of Hunter x Hunter? Really, I don't have much more to say because I don't know what to say. This is a chapter that I might even need to like re-review. What I will say is I'm just glad that Hunter x Hunter is back, and I'm glad that it's slightly easier to follow. But again, I am going to have to go back and sort of reread a lot of this stuff, and that is one of the biggest problems with Hunter x Hunter is that it is a manga series that goes on hiatus a lot. And because it went on hiatus after it came back last year, I just sort of dropped and stopped thinking about it, thinking, it's going to come back anytime, it'll be fine, and it never did. So I forgot a lot of all the stuff that was actually going on in the story. And going from watching the anime to reading the manga has been a very difficult transition for me. Following it in the anime version is easy as shit. I had no problems in really understanding what was actually going on. But once I started transitioning over to the manga version, it became really difficult. So please work with me as I go further in these reviews, because I would like to continue reviewing the manga series, because the anime version of Hunter x Hunter just sucked me right in. It was just a sponge of awesomeness, and honestly one of the best damn shows that I've ever seen. I just love the style of it. I love how it breaks convention when compared to a lot of other shonen series. It's got a great visual style, and I just can't wait to see more from it. And hopefully this arc is going to deliver, and hopefully it will not go on hiatus again. That's like my biggest fear. Of course, we're all expecting it, so don't expect this to last long. I'm not going into this thinking that this manga is going to last forever. I have a feeling we got about another month of this stuff before the author decides, you know what, I need another fucking vacation. That, or I know that he's probably ill and just doesn't have the physical ability to actually continue to work on this series. Apparently he's a guy, he likes to do most of this stuff all on his own, and for that, I do commend him. But there it is. That's really my thoughts on this chapter, which I'm not going to give a score for this one because, like I said, I still think I need to read it, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit more. But most importantly, I want to hear your thoughts about this brand new chapter of Hunter x Hunter. Are you excited to see the return? What do you think of this crazy brand new story? Kurapika's brand new abilities? Could you try explaining to me what the hell is actually going on in this arc? And tell me what you guys really do hope to see from the rest of Hunter x Hunter. So there it is. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things Hunter x Hunter manga and maybe future anime related. I also do a ton of other anime reviews, so make sure to check those out. If you liked this video, I highly recommend using your Nen abilities to hit that like button. It helps our videos out a lot. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and as always, stay Dan down, baby.